Hey, welcome everybody.
Welcome. We're playing Mario Paint. No.
No, not actually.
This is a drawing video. I recorded myself doing this. This was actually months ago. We meant to audio over it and release it when it was recent, but stuff happened, and now it's been months, and the LP this art was done for is over.
Yeah.
Either way, you get to watch my drawing process.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, sorta. So I use a program called GIMP. It is free, and it is basically just what you'd expect for the basics of, like, Photoshop. It's like Photoshop Elements quality. But I use an older version of it because I do. Don't question it. And just in general, like, I'm basically, like, scratching out my art existence out of, like, stone tablets in a cave. But I choose to. I like it. I prefer it. So this is just the undersketch for, I want to say this was the 6th Popka title card.
I believe it was.
I want to say it was the 6th. So this is 2 of them Starmen and our hero squats McNuts, and they're all doing the same pose. And then there's going to be more going on, but sketch first.
Yeah, and you do a lot of resizing because, like,
composition. You gotta figure out what looks best, and I make it up as I go. It's like I didn't thumbnail this. I just sort of decided as I was doing it.
Do you do that often for Popkas?
For what specifically? Popkas has a lot of different kinds of art.
I guess that's true.
Be specific.
Do you do that for anything else in Popkas?
For Fat Baby Reboot, I had to do a lot of stuff that involved fancy composition. There goes Squats' fist. It's getting carted away.
Yeah. Well, the other Starmon just has a hand in his head now. It's fine.
Those 2 sketches for the stars are the same undersketch. Like I copy and pasted it, but they're going to be inked separately so that they're in the same pose, but they're going to wind up being semi-unique. Like their proportions won't be exactly the same. So we got our little baby pets in the foreground. The idea for this was that they're just doing this pose and just showing off because they like to pose because they're like all Sentai heroes. And then everyone is just watching them and being like, what are they doing?
I like the design, by the way. We haven't seen it because it hasn't inked it yet, but you do have the sketch lines down for it. The back of Fat Baby's head looks really adorable, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I've gotten good at drawing Fat Baby. He's just easy to draw. And here's our dog, and he's like, get a load of this guy. I like throwing in weird expressions on him. So, the way I recorded this, it's like tied to the wow, this looks weird.
Yeah, it goes nuts, yeah.
Like, it's tied to the window. And the way GIMP works, there's separate windows for, like, the canvas and then the toolbars and the layer area. Like, they're all different, and you can resize them to what you need. And I guess that means that it resizes the video frame. But, yeah. Like, it's gonna look a little weird sometimes. I don't think I do any more of that.
I don't know. What program did you actually use to record?
This was XSplit, which I still don't know how to use. It's really weird. Its record button is on a drop-down menu. Like, the button is on a drop-down. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it. I used it for this and, like, one other thing and haven't touched it since. And I just don't know. We'll figure it out eventually.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I haven't done anything, in part because we didn't do any audio for this video, so why do anything else?
Yeah, well, I mean, the version of XSplit you're using doesn't have audio recording anyway, right?
I don't know. I think it does.
Oh.
Legitimately, I don't know how to use that thing.
Yeah, because when we do the PC games, when we actually play PC games and we record those, I'm just using Shadowplay the entire time.
Yeah, it's built into his graphics card. I don't have that function. Because my graphics card's older. My whole computer's a bit older.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to this. There's Fat Baby. He's coming in. I've kind of started drawing him a little bit like a gecko, but with like a big hippo nose.
Yeah, well, they call him a frog in the LP, at least one.
Yeah, they do. I've never really seen him as a frog. I did go through a phase in college where I just drew a bunch of frogs, so maybe that's helped me to make his face look good. Like he's just, I've become pretty good at drawing different fat babies. Like There's been a few different versions of that. The recolors have shown up in the Popka's posts daily. There's a different Digimon posted, and I've done a bunch of the recolors for it, and it's just like, I've gotten familiar enough with them that I kind of tweak the proportions so each one looks a little different and gives them all personality. Basically, it's like drawing a Yoshi, but less bullshit.
Yeah, tell me about the line work that you're doing here, because Popka's line art is always very, it's thick and kind of like jank, but I feel like it's on purpose.
Yeah, I've been imitating you.
Oh, thanks.
No, okay, so if you guys haven't seen Josh's art, you can look at it on our Silhouette Mirage LP. And our new Sonic LP, that's him doing it. He used to use a style that was more like this, wherein the lines were just these hard pixel lines. And it was, like, fun looking. So I kind of did that for Popka's as part of it being kind of an inside joke between the two of us. And also, it's easy to just do this and to color it in and stuff. And a lot of the style for like anatomy and stuff is in part just to make it easier to do, especially because Digimon tend to be kind of hard to draw.
Yeah.
But also the original concept was off-model Pokemon are hilarious.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of off-model Pokemon, and that's what a Popka is, and it sort of turned into a bunch of other things.
So when you actually do line art, though, like on top of doing this really kind of sketchy, sort of thick line art that you do. What actual size is that pen? Is it like 11?
I want to say it is a size 11. They call it in GIMP. It's called a pencil tool. I know in other things it's called a binary tool. It's hard edges. There's no aliasing. It's just size 11 with pressure sensitivity for the size. That's it.
How much? Because you do use pressure sensitivity.
Yeah,
on it,
I just said that.
Yeah, but it's like the pressure sensitivity seems like, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but it seems really low. Am I wrong?
That's just how it is. I don't know if it's my tablet, which is kind of old, or GIMP, which is kind of old. I use an Intuos 3, and it's how many years have I had that? I got it, I want to say I was 18 when I got it, so it's been almost 10 years I've been using the same tablet. It's probably just not up to spec, but also GIMP kind of has its pressure sensitivity isn't always perfect. That's just how it is.
Yeah, because I'm just noticing and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, 11 it's pretty chunky, but I've used 11 in the past to draw, and it's like when I hit the end of a line, or when I'm hitting like points, just long stretches of line and stuff like that, I tend to thin out really really strongly.
Well, there's other tools that I could have used to make this different. What I use for the sketch lines and what I use for most of my art that isn't Popka's is something called like just a pen tool, but not a pen tool the way it would be labeled in like Photoshop. Like it's its own separate thing. I don't know if there's a comparison in other programs, but it makes things kind of look more like it's done with a actual fountain pen.
I think I might know what you mean. I think Psy might have an equivalent.
Yeah, well, either way, I usually use that, and that has more pressure sensitivity. It's just this tool that doesn't. That's just how that one is.
That's
GIMP's
weird.
GIMP is weird.
It must be weird, because like I'm just thinking about it, and it's like I was using Photoshop Elements for years and years and years just to do my line art and my colors. Which, honestly, for colors, I sometimes... Like, I use Psy now.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think about going back and using it for just colors specifically.
Oh. I've never used Psy, so I can't say if that's weird or not.
Psy's kind of strange when it comes to colors. I feel like Photoshop might be the peak of like, coloring
That's probably
programs,
not
as
true.
weird as that sounds.
I've never liked Photoshop. Like, I don't know what it is. Just the line quality is just different and weird, and I don't know. I've never liked it.
I really appreciate the way you draw hands, by the way.
Oh, I've kind of just gotten... I don't want to say good at hands. My hands aren't perfect, but I am comfortable with hands. artists.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
It takes a while to get comfortable, and I've got stock hand poses that I use a lot. I think a lot of artists do. Like, you just get used to drawing hands one way, and then you just do that over and over.
I feel like if you're an artist who draws an awful lot of stuff, you just have stock poses for everything, to be completely honest.
It's just a really good artist has both a lot of stock poses and is good at disguising them.
It makes us sound like shit artists when we talk about it.
No, everyone's a shit artist inside.
Yeah.
It's just that some of us are better at tricking people into thinking we're good.
Yeah.
So these two star guys, like I said, they had the same undersketch. It was copy and pasted.
Yep.
They look pretty different now because I inked them all separate. Different. Yeah, they've got their own personality.
Is this just a normal, like, fill tool?
Oh, yeah.
Like, straight down to your line art?
No. You couldn't really see it, but there was a Magic Wand tool that came in and got everything outside the line art, and then I inversed it and then went into another layer, and then I fill tooled.
Oh, okay. I've done that before.
Yeah, I lock the transparency, and then that way I can just scribble on this and it doesn't go outside the line.
Nice.
Which is really easy when it's in the pixels like that. So, like, there's no weird little fuzzy specks that I could accidentally miss.
Yeah.
Yep. See? Like, I just sort of, like, oh, that was me using the pen tool instead of the thing on accident. That happens a lot. But, yeah, like, I can just sort of fill in giant blocks, and it's just easy. Especially for these, because it's not like they're shaded or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gotten pretty comfortable with drawing, like, Squat's McNuts there. I'm sure whenever it is that we wind up actually, like, watching the 5th Digimon series, I'm gonna look at him as like, wow, he looks like nothing like I draw him. I'm sure.
As somebody who has seen bits and pieces of that series, I feel like actually that's pretty close.
Well, from what I've seen from, like, reference photos on the times I have had to look it up, just double check things, mine looks way younger than that one, which is weird because he's a Digimon protagonist.
Well, okay, so season 5, I guess it would be, of Digimon was the season where they started putting in protagonists who were significantly older than they used to be.
Yeah, but mine looks like about as old as I draw the other ones.
Or at least
it's
they
silly.
look older, I guess.
Oh, mistake.
A little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, sometimes things connect under the line art and I don't notice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how that goes.
Yeah, I'm betting it was right around where the top of the boot touches the star.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. He doesn't squat very often in the actual series.
Weird, he squats constantly in that game.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think he squats at all.
That's so weird. Why did they choose that pose in the game then? He's doing it constantly.
Why did they choose anything in the game? That whole
that's
game
a good
was
point.
weird.
That whole game is just the strangest thing.
Yeah.
I like the way these guys look, by the way.
I hope we can play more Digimon games in the future.
Oh, yeah, eventually. We're going to want to take a breather from it so it's not too much at once.
Yeah.
But I like the way these guys are designed. Not my drawings of them, but just in general. Yeah, the proportions on them and the way they've done everything and the balance, the colors, like whoever made this was really, really careful to make it not look like shit, because it should look like shit. It's just a star with arms and legs, but they make it work.
Well, it's in the same style and the same universe where you've also got things that are literally just balls with arms and legs.
Yeah, and that's what this is. It's a ball with arms and legs with a star on top of it.
Yep, when you see it from behind, it totally is it's exactly
That's how I
the
started
same.
the sketch.
Yeah,
because otherwise it's really hard to draw a star freehand. The ball behind it makes it easy to like center it and figure out which way it's facing.
Yeah.
So we got our stars. Now they're gone.
As ghosts for a second.
Oh, by the way, in another like window that you couldn't see, I've got like one of my past pictures up so that I can eyedrop from it for the colors. Mm-hmm. So like you can't see that because XSplit's focusing on just this window, but I got all kinds of other shit going up.
And I did the editing on this video like a while ago.
Oh yeah.
I think when I went in and edited it, I changed it so that everything was running at like, I think it's like 16 times if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, something fast.
But I wound up cutting out, even at 16 times, I think I wound up cutting out like 40,
a ton of
40 minutes worth of footage where you were doing nothing.
Yeah, it's
even
not that I was doing nothing.
Times,
it was that I was in another window, either getting a reference ready or changing the song on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Doing nothing implies that you actually weren't doing anything. You were totally doing stuff. It just wasn't in the window.
Yeah. Like it was like, oh, the song ended. I need to listen to another thing. Okay, YouTube window. There you go. And then I'd come back.
Well,
I don't remember what I was listening to.
In some cases, you were actually doing stuff in the window, but it was literally you in, I think, other windows, and it just picked up your mouse cursor in this one. Yeah,
it was me, like, going and checking, like, what color did I use here? I gotta eyedrop it.
Yeah, and change music and whatever else,
These two were so easy. This one thing's, like, 3 colors.
Their designs are so simple.
Yeah, like... I like Fat Baby's design. It's good, simple.
Yeah, well, Fat Baby is kind of just Charmander a little bit.
He's Yoshi, like I said.
It's like Yoshi and Charmander had a baby.
Yeah, Yoshi's... Like, if you ever actually look at the way a Yoshi is constructed, though, it's actually kind of terrible. Like, it's got, like... the shape of its nose is one giant polygon on its own, and then you've got, like, its cheek and jaw are one piece, but they're separate from the back of the skull. It's awful.
Have you ever seen the pictures where people have taken the nose off of Yoshi?
Oh, God. I think I have, yeah.
He's completely unrecognizable and horrifying.
Yeah, I know. Like, just imagine a Yoshi that doesn't suck, and that's Fat Baby.
Yeah, should we point out, by the way, this is the second time we've done recording for this?
Yeah, okay, so the first time, I don't know why Josh decided to bring that up, because it's his fault.
I know.
He abandoned me, and I had to sit here for like 20 minutes trying to come up with things to say on my own, and it was hard, and he was just sitting there on the couch watching me fail. And then it turned out that since we had the microphone on his desk, it was like making a buzzing noise.
Yeah, so we decided to move the mic onto a TV tray in front of my desk.
And waited like 2 months.
Yeah, well, I think it might have been more than that, but
I don't remember. Yeah. So the area we were in, I want to say is called the Digital Dungeon?
This was either Digital Dungeon or it was the weird... other one.
Mirage Museum. No, I want to say this is Digital Dungeon. They're almost identical, though.
They are.
So I had a Google image search up in another window that was just that level. So I think what I wound up going off of was like the thumbnail image from someone else's LP. Because that's usually what shows up. This game doesn't have a lot of coverage. There's not a lot of people going in and documenting it.
No, not
So
really.
if you're going to get anything, it's probably going to be from like a blurry YouTube screen cap. So I just kind of looked at that and I eyeballed it. All these colors and all of this stuff is just me being like, oh, this is kind of what it looks like. The saving grace of the Popkiss style is because it's so like simplistic and goofy and I can get it out so fast, I don't have to worry. If I were trying to make this good, it might take me like 2 weeks. This video took like an hour. It's sped up considerably, but it was only like an hour as opposed to some of the stuff for Fat Baby Reboot, which is another Digimon thing. It's on popkiss.tumblr. Some of the images for it I did over the course of several days, and I would do like the inking and the background and the shading all on different days because there was so much.
Yeah, those were kind of, I'm not going to say like, oh, they were super simple, but like those were simplistic compared to some of the other art that you've done in the past.
Sort of. Those were still pretty complicated for me.
I'm not saying they weren't complex.
Like, I put effort into it.
Yeah.
The reason that some things take more time is usually because I'm doing full-blown comics. My comic is called Laserwing. It's at laserwing.tumblr. So you should go look at that, too. That's like my highest level of art skill. But for stuff like this, it's like, I can just get it out of the way and I can just keep going, and it's low pressure and that makes it more fun. That means I draw more, and it's honestly helped with my regular art because I'm doing more drawing. Yeah. You know, it's like doing a bunch of thumbnails, but they're also presentable to the public because they're supposed to be goofy. So this is, this perspective is bullshit.
The perspective is bullshit, but in your defense, this whole area was bullshit.
Yeah, and also, it's going to be covered by stuff. It's not going to matter.
Yeah.
This background is going to be mostly covered.
You put a ton of effort into this and then tossed a Starmon in front of it.
Well, I think it's still important that your background is cohesive, because otherwise people can tell. I mean, I could have just put everything on a gradient and just left it that way, but it's like, no, people can sniff that bullshit out real fast.
Yeah, they'd be able to see it pretty easily.
So a bunch of it's covered. More is going to be covered in a sec. I believe this is everything but the text, because every Popkiss title has to actually say what it's a title for.
Yeah, if I've done this correctly, by the way, there's probably music playing in the background. I'm going to guess it's probably from Digimon World if you're interested. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, put some music behind this. So this is just my handwriting. I don't think anyone assumed that it was anything else, but it's literally just I letter my own stuff always.
Yeah.
It's in part because, well, it's not true. I don't do my own lettering on like the Popka's write-ups, like Fat Baby Reboot and stuff. That's because that's a lot of text.
Yeah.
But for stuff like this, it's like I feel like it's lazy to use actual real fonts. Like, yeah, they look professional, but sometimes things that are professional look lazy because like it's a computer tool. Like you click a button and you can do it. It's like whatever. This takes a little more time and it has more personality. So I do this whenever I can.
As an example of my handwriting instead, look at, I guess, any of the thumbnails for any video. I do the numbering on all of them.
Yeah, I give him these images, which are just the title on top of an image, and he puts what number of the episode it is on them for each one.
Yeah, with the exception of, I think Sonic might be the only one that I've actually written the title for. I don't know. No,
Silhouette Mirage as well.
Silhouette Mirage, Sonic, and all of the tournament snarks.
Oh, yeah. Tournament snarks, which are Sunday fighting game videos. I did the art, but I left part of it blank. Like, it's us in front of a TV. I left the TV blank. He puts either a drawing or a, oh, what's going on there? A
drawing or a screenshot.
Yeah, a drawing or a screenshot of the game on the TV, and then writes the name of the game. So that's him. I wish he'd do more drawings for those instead of doing like just a screen cap of the game.
In my defense, we usually do them like a day before they come out.
That's true. Although we've also done these video titles a day before something's come out sometimes.
So we're getting pretty close to done here, and
that's the end of it.
That's the end of it. Okay. So now we have the finished product up, and it looks super nice. I like it.
I can't see it.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody. If you guys want more of these, let us know.
Yeah, I haven't done any more, but tell us to, and I will.
Yeah, we could.